As brands continue to launch a steady stream of cameras packed to bursting with high-resolution video modes, more photographers than ever are testing the waters and taking tentative steps into the world of movie making, not only as an additional stream of revenue to supplement print sales, but also at a more beginner level to capture precious moments of family and friends. While the camera bodies have features on hand such as 4K video, log profiles and ports to capture enhanced audio, it's often the tricky area of lens selection where problems with results and quality can occur. Put simply, not every lens in your kit bag will be up to the job. But before you rush out and spend big money on a pricey cine lens designed solely for video use, take a moment to watch this video and listen to our tips on what features make a wise lens choice for video. Let's start with a feature that is critical to impressive focus. There'll be times when you're filming scenes with a shallow depth of field and you'll want to take more control over the focusing system by switching to manual focus, which is abbreviated to MF on your lens. In these scenarios, you'll want to have as much physical control over the lens as possible, and the lenses to avoid are the ones that have impossibly thin focus rings that are very unergonomic and hard to get precise control over. Instead, look out for optics with a big, wide focus ring that you can get a good hold of. Better still, focus rings with pronounced rubberized texture will further aid your hold and prevent your digits slipping off at the crucial moment. You won't find them on every lens, but an aperture control ring enables users to change the aperture setting via the ring on the lens rather than needing to fiddle about with the camera body dials or menus. This is important because when you're capturing footage, you'll be using a set shutter speed, such as 1/100th of a second. So to balance the exposure level, you'll want to adjust the aperture instead, although you can use ISO and ND filters to balance exposure too. Some aperture rings are clicked, meaning you feel a physical click as you turn the ring. It's more advantageous for a video-friendly lens to have a declicked aperture ring that will turn freely without resistance, allowing you to balance the exposure more easily. Now, shaky footage is no good to anybody, and while there are other options to stabilise footage, namely IBIS inside the camera body, or the use of a gimbal so the photographer can move around while keeping the camera steady, using a lens with image stabilisation technology adds to the photographer's ability to keep things nice and smooth. Most IS-enabled lenses offer the user the ability to switch the stabilisation on and off, giving the user even more control. For the ultimate in stabilisation though, pairing an IS lens with an IS body will extend the compensation limits. When shooting video, you'll more than likely want to shoot a lot of contre-jour shots, where you shoot directly into the light to capture backlit subjects. These high contrast lighting situations can flummox inferior lenses and produce large amounts of flare and specular highlights. When looking for a lens that you can use for stills and video, make sure it has a decent level of coating to protect from these issues. For those shallow depth of field shots that add a heavy layer of cinematic style to your footage, you'll need a lens that offers a fast maximum aperture. Regular kit lenses often have a variable aperture, so at best you'll be able to use f3.5, but if you zoom in, you're more likely to have a maximum aperture of f5.6, which won't give the shallow depth of field you're looking for. Instead, look out for lenses that have a maximum aperture of f2.8 or faster. One common mistake many photographers make when moving into video for the first time is to select a lens that's too wide. Of course, there will be times when a wider angle view will suit the scene, but going too wide all the time can leave subjects in the frame looking too small and generally lost. Have fun taking your first steps into the world of movie making, and stay tuned to the AP website for more useful videos.